Friday the 13th has been consistently one of the few multiplayer horror experiences that you could sort of enjoy with your friends, especially for fans of the slasher genre, and obviously now Dead by Daylight has come up, and that is not dead by any means, pardon the pun, unlike Friday the 13th. Now, Friday the 13th, the game, has been a small part of this channel off and on kind of forever, ever since it popped up. And we played it a little bit this last month, so I wanted to take a look at some miscommunication and misunderstandings about this game, because this game is finally dead, sort of. I think a lot of people are not actually looking at the full story, they're reading the headlines, and they're just assuming they won't be able to play this game going forward. Which I want to tell you before we even start, that is not true. You will still be able to play this game. Before we jump into the actual story, I do want to do a quick shout out to my secondary channel, Degenerate Plays, where we are playing through a plethora of different games, hanging out podcast style, talking with each other, even talking with you in the comments, and we are having a super fun time. Upcoming projects over there are Spider-Man Miles Morales, we're going to do a playthrough of that, and even the new Demon's Souls remake from Blue Point Studios. So I hope that you are willing to check that out. The link is in the description, as always, down below. And if you are one of the 60% who is not subscribed to this channel, I hope that today is the day that you will consider joining the Degenerate family. Now, jumping into this, I do think it's important to point out that yes, the dedicated servers for Friday the 13th are shutting down. Is that a big deal? Sort of. I mean, the thing is, this game has been quote unquote dead in the water for quite a while. Really back since probably around the end of 2018, there was all this litigation over the rights of the Friday the 13th franchise, and while I can't get into it in depth here because it would just be multiple videos in and of itself, it's very confusing. Essentially, my opinion of how I perceived the case was that Victor Miller, who was the original writer of the first Friday the 13th, he sort of came back in, I believe, 2017, 2018, somewhere in there. This is just my understanding, and he wanted the rights back to the character of Jason Voorhees. He believed that those belonged to him from the contract he signed. And then there was this whole messy court case that just, like I said, it got really messy. And it really, what happened was this led to this game sort of dying. There was no more content after that point because there was basically a hold on the Friday the 13th franchise, in my understanding, where you could not create new content for that because the rights as to who owned the content were up in the air, and if the studio that was making the game even should have been able to get the license to make it, because if the original people who gave them the license shouldn't have legally owned it, then they shouldn't have been able to get it. And like I said, it got very messy, so we got no Jason X, nothing like that they were apparently planning on bringing, and the game just has slowly kind of withered a little bit. There are still players on it, it is still very fun, but we have finally hit the point where the servers are going to be shutting down. And when I say the servers, I don't mean all of them. I don't mean the ability to play this game, because this is the important thing to point out, that a lot of people are reading the headlines that the servers are dead, but all this means is that dedicated servers for this game are shutting down. Illfonic, who helped develop this game, obviously, they even went so far as publicly to say that actually, even though the dedicated servers are being shut down in the patch for this month, the game will actually revert back to peer-to-peer matchmaking, even for quick play. So you can still go into quick play lobbies, you can still play multiplayer in quick play, you can also still do private matches. I know Nate and I have been playing a lot of private matches on this game, actually just to try and get trophies, to be honest with you. I would like to eventually get the platinum for this thing. Killer franchise is pretty cool, I love Friday. But regardless, that's an aside. The whole thing is not going away. If you are interested in this game, you will still be able to play through quick play, peer-to-peer connections. It won't be dedicated. I don't know if that will lead to any hiccups, because peer-to-peer, as you'll remember, is also kind of one of the things that older Call of Duty games were criticized for, having performance issues. However, I think this is much better than not being able to play the game like some people think. Also, player progression will still be there. Unlocks are still going to be accessible in both quick play and private matches, and there will be a ton of different issues as well fixed in the final patch here. This is supposedly going to be the last patch. They're even going to be locking the actual official forums for the game. For the most part, there's going to be some, and also the drop rates of the Pamela tapes and even the XP and all this stuff that went live before are still going to be active. So at the end of the day, you can still play this game. If you want to buy this game for super cheap, you certainly can still play it with your friends. You can play it on your own on quick play and multiplayer. It will still work. Don't let people fearmonger you out of playing this. But this is a pretty big final death knell for the game. The game is not getting more content. It is dead. It will likely be quite a while before we see another Jason Voorhees video game entry of any kind due to this lawsuit and due to all the fallout from it. And I'm interested to see what will happen. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you still play this game at all? Do you not? What did you think of this video? I'm trying out to keep up to date with some news as well that's interesting to me on days where maybe I don't want to dive into a massive video project. I try to put up something like this. It's a Wednesday. I usually don't upload, but I was very bored last night. So interested in your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Be sure to like the video if you like it, dislike if you dislike it. As always, that helps either way. Check out Degenerate Plays in the description. I hope to see you there and hang out, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a fantastic day, and as always, stay shway.